Hi kids, welcome to Terry on Tuesday. Guess what? It's Saturday. Well, it's Saturday for me. Welcome to the third part of my ANDOR thingy build. I apologise for the light being all over the place. It's sunny outside and we've got snow, which means it's also freezing cold, hence the hat and all the central heating and stuff on. I have the central heating on for about 10 minutes a day when the cold gets too much. It's too expensive to have on for too long. Anyway, never mind that. Last week, or last time we should say, it wasn't, yes, sorry, last week I, as you're watching this, last week I dropped my interview with Richard Dursley, which interrupted the flow of the ANDOR build because me and Richard have been putting that interview off for quite a while and I wanted to get that recorded and out there. But on the second part, I made 12 of these. These are the sort of, how should we say, horseshoe bits on the front there. And what I'm going to do this week is connect them together. As I said last time, I could have cut them out as one single piece like that. But the wastage would have been a bit ridiculous. There'd been all this wastage stuff in the middle, and I've had to cut up a load of sheets. It's probably easier to just cut these in bits, and obviously more manageable for me. As I always say, I am not a foam expert. So the plan is to cut two 40mm strips at the right length to go over here. So basically, as I said last time, one of these goes on the back like that, another one goes on the front like that, and then the strips would bend all the way over the top to there. So then we've got the top kind of prongs ready for the other pieces. Now, this shouldn't be too difficult. I know these are 40mm wide at the top. I just have to cut a lot of them. I've cut 12. I need 2, so that's 24 pieces. But how long are they? Well, I did measure this is a 220mm diameter. I do not have the memory of my junior school geometry to remember it, but if I remember rightly, it is something like, he says, doing it a really cowboy way, it's about 330. I will work it out properly and I will come back. I need 360. So my pieces are 40mm by 360 in order to bend around and stick on. Much like last week or last time, I'm going to cut all the pieces I need before I start gluing stuff together. I might glue one together at the end, just to give you an idea. But rather than boring you with me with a ruler and slicing out lots of little strips, let's cut forward to having all the strips done, shall we? And we're back with all the pieces cut. Right, now, there are... Did I say earlier I needed 24 of these? Let's rewind the tape and find out. I need 2, so that's 24. Well, there's the proof. Okay, so I did not need 24, even if I did say that.
I'm an idiot.
I needed 12. Here is one I did earlier. I have glued them to one of the pieces. All I need to do now, by the way, I'm using industrial strength CA glue, or super glue, or crazy glue, depending on what country you're in, which I think does the job fine. Some people use hot glue and barge and other stuff. Again, not an expert, but this seems to work okay for me. I don't think it's going to snap and pop. All I need to do now is connect another piece, another one of these, to this end, and then we fit it onto the top of the big pieces, the big skateboardy type pieces. What I think I'm going to do is connect all these together, so I've got, was it 6 of these giant bits, I'm not going to connect them to this just yet because there are so many other bits to cut out. And this week, I'm not going to just leave it at cutting out some rectangles, which you didn't even see because it's really boring. I'm going to look at my handy dandy gridded sketch. Sorry about the brightness. It's still really sunny out there and freezing cold. Yeah, I think I'm going to start cutting a few more little pieces. Probably the centerpiece, the piece that's hinged, that's this middle bit here. It does have a curved area on there, which I'm going to have to work out. But from the curved area upwards, it's lots of square. Oh, you can't even see that. Let's try again. There's a curved area here, which obviously swivels. And then from there up, we've got some square bits and a small circular bit right at the top. I'm going to have to consult my very few reference photos. I may even pull the episode up on telly just so I can have a look at it. But we're getting there. We're getting there slowly. And we're... Side note. I am fairly sure, I'm waiting for a proper diagnosis, but I'm fairly sure that I've had ADHD all my life. And the fact that I am working slowly on projects like this, while I still have plenty of time, and then doing a mad rush is a symptom of people with ADHD. They need a deadline and they need impetus, outside impetus to make them speed up and give them a kick up the backside, basically. So yeah, I'm going to start measuring out a couple more bits and I'll be back when I've got them ready. I have connected the final piece, put some masking tape on there for the time being, just while it holds. But essentially, this is our piece, which goes over, actually not over, it doesn't go over the curve, it goes slightly within, so it's something like that. Alrighty, so that's one of our main forks, etc. Very big piece, and obviously another one goes on that end, and then it bends in the middle at a sort of 120 degrees. So I will assemble them at some point with all the sticks that I've just cut. But I started looking at the next piece, and as soon as I take the phone off the holder, I'll show you the way I think about things, okay? Okay, so I'm looking at this piece next. This is the swivelly leg piece, we'll call it. These are the bits that will swivel. Oops, I'm going to get out of the way of the camera. Obviously based on that pivot point there. So I've worked out some sizes. It's 120 or 12 centimeters square, but when you do the front piece, it's only 100 because you've got to take into account the thickness of the material. So again, the circle is the same. It's the same 110 radius, which, if you remember from the first one where I was cutting out the curves, I got this little ruler and I drilled a hole. Where is he? There and there, and that makes, I put a pin in the one end and a pencil in the other end, and that will draw my circles for me. So I need to cut out this kind of shape. Where are we? Here. I need to cut out that kind of shape and the right length, etc. And I'm going to stop at the point of this, where the sticky outy bit is. This is like a little square flat piece that goes all the way around. So I'm going to stop there. So I'm going to cut up to 140 up to there. And I'm going to need 2, 4, 6. Yes, I'm going to need 6 of them. No, I'm going to need 12 of them, actually. Let's get this right. It's a 6-pointed thing. I need 6 of these things. Yeah, so I'm going to need 12 of those. So I'm going to go mark some of them out and see if we can cut a couple out by this week's video. And I'll be back. Here are some I made earlier. Basically, see, I've curved that bit I was talking about. The edges are not amazing. Slightly wonky here, but that can all be sanded down, as I say. So there's 3, and I've got to make another 3. So I'll cut those out and then we'll go upstairs. So here we are. 6 of these shapes. 6. Oops. You have failed, my young apprentice. Basic mathematics. I'm a Disney shell. Yeah, so there you have it. Because I'm a complete and utter spanner and can't do very, very elementary mathematics, I've not cut enough. I need to cut another 6. Yes, because as previously mentioned, 6 times 2 is 12. This, by the way, also feeds into my current theory that I have ADHD. I've never in my entire life been any good with numbers. And also, I've worked in factories where you've got to keep count of the things you do, like, you know, sets of 12, blah, 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 you know. And I lose count after 3. And I'm like, oh, got to start from the beginning again. And I've always been like that. Anyway, all that aside, at least I've got 6. I've got to go downstairs, cut another 6, which I shall hopefully do by next week's video. So, finally, cut the other 6. So we've got 12 of these, which are going to be paired up, obviously. I joined all of these together. We have 6 of these now, which are going to bend around the 3 hoverboard type things, which are going to be folded in the middle, sort of like that. Whatever the angle is, I can't remember. And that'll be quite scary. What will be even scarier is the fact that I've got to put these 2 together 6 times. Basically, they're going to come together something like this, but there's this horrible little curve here, you see. I've got to try and get something to match that. I don't know if the foam will stick that neatly to the curve. What I may do is go straight down here, then do a bit like that, and put an extra piece in the middle there that I can cut or sand to make the curve a little bit nicer. We'll have to see. On top of this, on top of these pieces, I'm going to need big squares that are slightly bigger to go all the way around. Plus on top of that, a block with an octagonal bit and a circle right up to make the end piece. And I've got to have 6 of them. So lots of 6s, lots of stuff. Anyway, that's all it for this week. It's taken me far too long to do, but we're cooking on gas. I think the biggest pieces are done. There is a central triangular bit, which I've got to make a couple of. Anyway, that's it for this week. Hope you found it reasonably enjoyable. Editing this has been a nightmare. Take care now. Bye-bye then.